Promotion back to the Premier League marked a new chapter for Aston Villa and a step up in expectation. For John, it was a chance to prove himself all over again against the best teams in the country.
Found the room and he finds a teammate, and it's John McGinn.
His leadership in midfield became even more crucial as the club adjusted to life at the top level.
Well, it was a really tough season, but so proud to score that first goal back in the Premier League. What an amazing feeling that was.
Hoisted by Mings and pursued by McGinn, who's away from Rose here. McGinn scores for Aston Villa. The man whose goal clinched their promotion at Wembley has launched their life in the Premier League.
Probably in terms of adrenaline, probably the best I've ever felt scoring a goal. When I was stood in the tunnel, I didn't feel actually like I belonged in the Premier League, so scoring so early helped me sort of feel part of it.
Welcome to the London Stadium on Survival Sunday for West Ham United against Aston Villa.
The 2019-20 campaign all came down to the final day of the season. Aston Villa needed a result to stay in the Premier League. John McGinn and the team knew what was at stake.
That was nerve-wracking, really nerve-wracking.
Three clubs peering over the precipice. Only one will stay in the Premier League. That sole survival spot, Aston Villa's to lose. But can they hold their nerve and their status?
I remember wearing the khaki green kit, which was a bit of a shocker. But I think just nerves, really.
Good turn again by Davis. It's John McGinn finding Grealish. Grealish!
Oh, wow!
Stunning! Scintillating and surviving. It's Jack Grealish's goal that will cement Aston Villa's Premier League status.
Knowing that you work so hard to get back to the Premier League, the Villa fans were so desperate to get back to the Premier League. You're in an empty stadium, you know what it means to people back at home. Everybody's watching back at home, and just the nerves. I remember Michael Oliver, the ref, telling me the scores from the Arsenal-Watford game. And I remember it being 3-2, and just one goal either way would have swung it.
Deflection! Oh, it's in! It's 1-1 straight away! Another dramatic twist and turn! All of a sudden, it's all back in the balance, and Villa aren't there yet. And the news is the news they wanted to hear. Aston Villa with the point here, but that defeat for Watford at Arsenal means that Villa have done it.
We kind of crawled over the line, but the character we showed to stay up was huge and was massive for the club to stand on its 2 feet moving forward.
It's a funny one actually. So we went to, you got to make sure you keep this in all right. We went to Wales one time for pre-season.
Pre-season in Wales 2020. I don't know if Dean Smith's got any stories, but me and Jack might have wandered off.
There was talk, around the camp that we were going to do like a team bonding the next day. So we were kind of thinking, is it a night out or something? So then the next day we wake up and we had to go and take these, like, what you build a tent for. So we go and take them, and then we have to go camping and then build a tent, and then you have to go and make your own food. And we had like no chargers or anything. So me and Guinea were like, nah, come on, we've got to go and do something here. So we typed in on our phone, nearest pub. Yeah, we obviously had food, we had to cook some like spag bol or something around the fire, and then me and Guinea have gone. Yeah, I think a few of the other lads were going to come, but they didn't fancy it.
And snuck away and ended up in a pub in the Brecon Beacons.
The pub was meant to close at about 11, and I remember us keeping it open till about, I think it was like 1 or 2, and then we come back, made our way back to the campsite, and went into bed. Woke up the next day, made our way back to the hotel, and we thought no one knew. We thought Dean Smith didn't know. And then we were doing recovery then about 6 months later or something. We're standing like by the side of the pitch because me and Guinea had just played, so we were watching the lads train that hadn't played, and then Dean Smith just comes over to us, we're speaking about the game, and he's gone, Do you think you two, that I didn't know that you two went out that night in Wales, and me and Guinea just looked at each other and just burst out laughing? So to this day I still don't know how we knew, and I'm sure I'll never know, because I don't think Dean Smith would tell us.
And God rest Shaky, but Jack woke Shaky up when we came back with the wolf noises. That was a highlight.
Yeah, I've got plenty of memories with him, plenty of holidays that I've been on with him, but yeah, that's probably my favourite memory of him.
But just amazing times, great memories, and stood us in good stead for the season.
The 2020-21 season offered a bit more stability for Aston Villa. With the Premier League survival behind them, the team could focus on building and improving. For John, it was another season to show his consistency and quality in midfield, and he did exactly that on the international stage, playing a key role in helping Scotland secure qualification for Euro 2020, the nation's first major tournament in over 2 decades.
You never ever think, growing up watching Scotland, the last major tournament was '98. I was obviously too young to remember that fully, but the reaction we got, obviously the sad thing was there was no Scotland fans there, but so fortunate to have been in that group. We were absolutely outstanding that night in Serbia. We actually deserved to win in the 90 minutes. Conceded late on, but big Davy Marshall, legend, came up trumps in the penalty shootouts, and just it always gets spoken about, but that bunch of Scotland boys couldn't have been more together if we tried, and making a nation proud and letting them experience a major tournament, even though it didn't go so well. It'll always be an amazing feeling getting to the Euros, and that was such a special night in Serbia.
After a long barren spell for the Scottish national team, we didn't qualify for tournaments. John was there, and he's always there. He's always in the squad. He doesn't look for the excuses to miss the horrible friendly matches, which is why he's got 81 caps for Scotland, because he turns up every time he's asked to turn up for his country. So that certainly rates very, very highly on the list of players that I've worked with. He's one of my leaders. Very early on, when I first took the job, I decided to look at a core group of players that I felt could grow together and work together. John was one of those that I identified, and he's been very, very important for us. He's a leader on the pitch, he's a leader off the pitch. It doesn't surprise me that he's captain at Aston Villa. He's my second captain for Scotland behind Andy Robertson. He's the vice captain.
As a vice captain, he's great. Obviously, being captain of Villa helps that massively. He's a leader in his own, and yeah, you know, he obviously helps me when things are needed, and you know, I think John can lift any room.
Bingo! He's a winner! Woo-hoo! Snow is falling all around us. Children playing, having fun. It's a season of love and understanding. Merry Christmas!
That's so crucial in international football, when you're in hotels for 10 days away from your family, and sometimes you just need people to lift you up and pick you up and give you a laugh and a joke. And I think John's never short of that. We're lucky we've got a few, but John's always the leader of the pack, and always the one round the dinner table telling stories and making us all laugh.
Before the 2022-23 campaign, several seasons of hard work and consistency was rewarded, with the Scotsman being named as the new captain of Aston Villa. A reflection of the respect he had earned from his teammates, the fans, and a sign of how important he had become to this team.
Strange actually at the time. Obviously I hadn't asked. It's not something, it was something that I probably thought I was capable of, but when Steven Gerrard told me, I was immensely proud. Obviously coming from a player and coach of his calibre, just absolutely brilliant feeling to be able to represent a club besides Aston Villa. He spoke to me about how he liked how I treated people, treated the staff, spoke to everyone, whether that would be kitchen staff or cleaners or groundsmen. He liked what I represented and how I carried myself as a person.
Yeah, I think he captained one game for me against Palace away, and he was vice captain to Tyrone for my last season there. But I always saw him as a captain. He was always one of the leaders in the leadership group. And whether he was captain or not, it wouldn't affect how he was around the place, but the players had a lot of respect for him as well as the coaches.
While in the ascendancy, he will want them to make it count. It is El Mohammadi, it is acrobatic from Cahill, and then it is a brilliantly smart finish from McGinn.
He leads by example. He leaves everything out on the pitch every game. One of the most consistent performers I ever had at Aston Villa while I was there. He's got status at Aston Villa and Scotland now as being one of the main men.
His endeavour, his work, his dedication to the job, the role, whichever. And I've asked him to play in a few different positions for Scotland, as I'm sure his club managers have. And he always gives you 100%. Sometimes never too happy if you leave him out the squad, but that's also a strength, because when he comes back into the team, you know that he's going to deliver for you. So to find good leaders is more difficult, but once you find them, you certainly want to keep a hold of them, and John would come into that category for sure.
He wasn't one of these guys that just burst into the scene and blew you away. John had to work at this. He had his faults, he's enthusiastic, but he wanted to play everything at the same pace. Where he won the ball at 100 mile an hour, he wanted to continue at 100 mile an hour. Beat somebody or slash a ball or diagonally across the pitch. That he's learnt over the years. He's learnt to use his power, obviously, but no, he wasn't one of these kids where you first see them and you go, wow, because I've seen too many of them. And then you go, they'd fade away. John has gradually got better. And one of the reasons he does it, one, he has intellect, he disguises it quite a bit every now and then. And he has humility. And humility you have to have. There's maybe special players, that maybe one or two don't have that, but most of us the good players have a humility. And because they have a humility, they'll listen and they'll learn and get better. So John has gradually got better and better till he's this midfield performer in the English Premiership, which is the best league in the world, and John is an outstanding performer in that. Did I see he was going to be like that when I first see him at St Mirren? No, I didn't. I knew he'd get to a right good level. It's a real bonus to anybody that's seen John when he was younger or kind of been involved in his progress, that's for sure.
As a leader, Guinea is one of them that I put up there with one of the best leaders in a dressing room that I've been in, to be honest. You know, he's one of them that he shows that in training day in, day out. You see the way he is, the character he is. He's one of them that wants to fight, and you know, you want that as a leader when you're going into every game that you're playing, you know, with him. So you know, he leads by example.
Crunching challenge from John McGinn. Always sets the tone, that, you know, sometimes that's all you need.
He's always been the joker of the team, but then also as a captain and a leader, he's very serious. So good to have him here.
Catch. McGinn's flick! Finally for Aston Villa, right on the very death. It is John McGinn who has come up with a huge goal.
Been a real captain this year, and many years as well. He's been really consistent, and he's always available and putting his body on the line.
Just what you want from your captain, to really just take the sting out of things, keeps possession, knows the foul is coming.
Yeah, massive. Everything is our leader. He kind of sets the tone for the way we want to play. He wears his heart on his sleeve, passion, energy. He's kind of like the heart and the soul of our team.
Well, that's good play by John McGinn, Aston Villa's captain, to dispossess Nuno Mendes. On it goes by Rashford. Yuri Tielemans, there's the cross, Morgan Rogers!
As well as he goes, as well as we go, kind of thing. If he's on form and playing well as a team, we are in. And that's just the presence that he brings.
John McGinn as a player deserves to be captain, a leader, always hard-working and sweet left foot. As a character, Jesus. Guinea as a character. Polite, funny, charismatic, always laughing and joking.
Hello Andrew, it's John from Aston Villa Ticketing Department. I'm just planning for my life after football. I think I'll be in a call centre. Maybe selling things.
Nice person to be around, so full of energy, good person. I remember him saying to me, no pressure, you've only been bought for 30 million. On my first day I said, mate, I don't want to be hearing that. So yeah, he's the exact same as he is today, a bit of a joker and a class clown.
Even the most consistent players go through difficult periods, and John was no exception. There were games where his performances weren't at the level he or the team expected, and the goals and influence he'd become known for didn't always come.
If you don't perform, you get criticism. That's what comes with playing for a big club. But you can either go into your shell and worry about it, or you puff your chest out and try and do something about it. There has been challenges, I think, obviously when you're part of the furniture a bit. As soon as you drop off, it's like, right, the team's gone beyond them. But I think the lowest point for me was Nottingham Forest away. I got subbed and cheered off. Sitting in that dugout thinking I'm finished here. Wasn't nice. My family are in the away end, which I think sometimes can be forgotten. But I remember looking at my dad after the game, and he was white as a ghost. He didn't want to say, "That was awful, son," but he just said, "Nah, it wasn't too bad." Made me feel a bit better. But at that moment, you either wallow in it or you puff your chest out and try and prove some people wrong. And hopefully over the years I've managed to prove that that was just a bad spell.
It was a reminder that football is never straightforward. Even leaders have to work through tough spells. For John, it was a period to regroup, refocus, and find ways to get back to his best. The 2022-23 season began with uncertainty. Villa struggled for consistency and the results weren't coming. Unai Emery was announced as the club's new head coach, bringing a wealth of experience and a plan.
My objective to play with Aston Villa in Europe.
His desire, dedication, work rate to make this club succeed can never be faulted. And I think for me personally, he's helped me grow so much as a player and as a captain. And his belief in me, whether to play centre back in Ajax or left back in the cup against Everton, or anywhere in midfield, up front, left, right, he knows from the first conversation we had that I was willing to play anywhere for him and for the club.
I'm sure when Emery came into the club, John looked at it as a chance to show someone else what his qualities were, and I think since Emery came to the club, John's been almost an ever-present, which is why he's got so many games.
I just want to be on that pitch, helping the team, trying to bring my qualities, and I think I have learned and improved so much under the manager. We are so fortunate as players to have one of the world's best managers every day pushing us and trying to improve us, and it'd be very easy for him after what he's done for the club. He's put us right back on the map to put his feet up and rest there, but he's so determined to succeed. And for me as a player, that ambition matches mine. You never want to stand still, you want to keep going and see where we can go next. And I think he feels the same as me, that we've got unfinished business here and we've got a lot more to give. So it made it an absolutely no-brainer when he said he wanted to extend my contract to do so.
First match for Unai Emery as Aston Villa manager, returning to the Premier League. Bailey scores! The Unai Emery era is off the mark!
The players adjusted to his system and performances began to improve, and the team started to show the Premier League just how good they were. John McGinn embraced his role, leading by example on the pitch. His energy and determination became a cornerstone of Villa's revival. A 2-1 win over Brighton and Hove Albion secured Aston Villa European football for the first time in over a decade.
And the referee's done it! He's blown the whistle, and Aston Villa, for the first time in 12 years, are back on the European stage.
I think that's probably my top 3 most special days at Villa Park. The Brighton match at home. Sunny day, expectation, and we delivered. From where we started the season to where we finished was born on a miracle, and what a performance against a really good team.
Cut back, Douglas Luiz! Villa are ahead! Benjamin Villa Park, and an opportunity for Ramsey, and then Barney Watkins
and Aston Villa lead 2-0.
The reaction and the celebration after that was brilliant. To be there with our own supporters, families, and to see, wow, we can actually be in European competition after so long out was special, and I just couldn't wait to get into the next season and play in Europe.
After Emery's first season, Aston Villa carried that momentum into the following campaign.
Back in from Bailey, but John McGinn.
Musa Diaby took over and Cash is there again.
Now here's Watkins, really good challenge by Colwell, and Watkins has done it!
To stop it happening tonight. Bailey is deflected, it is! Villa do have the goal that really they do deserve. Tielemans, right man, right place, right finish, and the right time for Aston Villa.
The team continued to perform consistently, and John remained central to Villa's success.
John McGinn!
John McGinn scores. Oh, it's kept out on the follow-up though. John McGinn.
As the campaign progressed, it became clear that Villa were competing at a level few had expected.
Leon Bailey. John McGinn. 1-0 Villa. In double quick time.
The results kept coming, and the club achieved qualification for the biggest stage in the club football, the UEFA Champions League.
It's been an amazing season. Obviously, we were at the club in the Championship, so there's 4 of us here tonight who were on part of that Championship journey. We got promoted. We obviously got into the Premier League. We were 7 points behind with 4 games to play. We managed to stay in the league. We kept building, and thankfully we've achieved something which we haven't done for 40 years. So on behalf of all the players and staff, we're over the moon and delighted.
Oh, that was surreal. Just incredible, really. You dream about playing Champions League football. You don't think it will take you to 30 years of age to do so, but just at that moment, all we could think about hearing the Champions League music at Villa Park was how special these nights going to be, and I'm sure many Aston Villa fans will agree. There were some nights we'll remember forever, and our task and our focus now is to get back there and to try and shock Europe again.
Pau Torres, Konza, Carlos, all in there. Good free kick, it's gone all the way in. Well, John McGinn's going to claim it.
With a back-in chance for McGinn, Villa lead in 2.5 minutes.
McGinn drives forward for Villa. Oh my goodness me! It's mind-blowing to have the belief to do that when your team needed it most.
He's the most difficult player to steal a ball against, isn't he, John McGinn?
John McGinn has built a reputation as one of the toughest midfielders in the Premier League.
Followed here by McGinn.
Opponents know what they're in for when he's on the pitch. His intensity and the way he drives Villa forward are qualities that make him stand out. And it's no surprise that other players notice it too.
His arse is massive, so you can't get round it.
To play against, he's difficult because of his big backside.
He's got the best backside since Kenny Dalglish.
He always wants to get that in.
He knows how to use it really well, and he's still doing it now, and some of the top Premier League players still haven't sussed it.
Playing against him now, it's weird because, you know, like I said, we speak so much and we're so close, and we've played against each other so many times now. There was one game at Villa Park when I was playing for Man City, and he was just doing my head in. He was annoying me so much.
McGinn trying to protect the ball in his own unique way. He took a few hits there, John McGinn. And now Jack Grealish will be yellow carded.
They're good mates as well.
Yeah, I nailed him. But no, it's fine. You know, as soon as we end the game, we just have a chat, and it is what it is.
He's a tough opponent, and he's got as a weapon, so yeah, he's quite tough, to be honest.
It's not nice ever to play against, you know, one of your best mates in the game, but you know, we've always had a wee laugh and a joke about it after the game, no matter what the result. So, but yeah, he's a difficult one to play against. Always makes it really difficult. Never gives you a minute peace, and yeah, you're glad when the final whistle goes.
If I can tell you one story, I went to see Marcelo Bielsa training
So we sat and spoke for a while. He's an interesting character. Then he went, John McGinn. I went, yeah. Good player. I went, very good player. He says, if I had 11 John McGinns, I would win the league. That's not bad.
I'm not sure I could handle some of the John McGinn banter off the pitch. To have that 11 times, I'm not sure anybody could handle that.
No chance. A team of John McGinns would drive you crazy. But I must say, we played Rotherham away in that 10-match winning run, and we had Tyrone Miggs set off after 30 minutes, and it was almost like we had the 11 men. We had the extra man because John McGinn was like 2 men that day.
You need different characters, different abilities within that team. John certainly has got his own role to play in his club side and the national side, and he plays it very well. Could I handle 11 John McGinns? I'm not quite sure I could, to be honest.
He epitomises what I'm sure every manager would like to have. He's a leader, and in this day and age, there's not many of them, and I'm pleased to say John's one of them.
It's just great to see good people getting on. It's been great watching him evolve, and I hope he goes on and gets 100 caps. That'd be fantastic. I hope he leads his country into the World Cup. That'd be even better.
For John McGinn, reaching 300 appearances for Aston Villa wasn't just another number on a record. It's the result of years of dedication, hard work and consistency at the heart of the team.
When you make your first appearance, you don't quite think you're 50th or you're 100th or 200 or 300. You're just kind of in a bubble of what's next and what challenge you can get to next. But 300's obviously a huge milestone. Not a lot of players are at a club for that many games, never mind making 300 appearances. So it's obviously a special feeling, but I just feel as hungry and as ready as ever to go and get to 400 or even 500, 600, just as long as my body copes, and if I'm still helping the team and the squad, I'm really excited to try and push for the next milestone and push for the success we're all craving.
From his early days establishing himself in the side to becoming club captain, he's been a constant presence, whether scoring goals in front of the Holt end, making big tackles or guiding his teammates through difficult times. John has left his mark on countless games and played a defining role in this era of Villa football. 300 games is a reflection of the impact he's had on the club's journey over those years, and through it all, John McGinn has become a true Aston Villa legend. When asked to describe him in 3 words, some gave words that summed up his professionalism and drive. Others chose answers that perfectly captured his personality off the pitch.
John McGinn in 3 words.
Ooh. Joker.
Master's given me a sock.
Wingardium Leviosa. Out the way. Absolutely love Harry Potter. What a guy, man.
Funny.
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 Fun.
This is as stressed as I've seen you.
Yeah, it's because it's like I'm having to set up quickly and I don't like wasting your time.
Listen, there is nothing I'm doing today other than tipping point.
Well, tipping point's important, isn't it?
Nah, it was infuriating because the person yesterday didn't take the trade and the thing was literally hanging off the edge, and he got it in the did you see it? It was an embarrassment. I was shouting at the telly. I was sitting myself shouting at the telly, and then he got it in his first one. He's like, oh,
tough, competitive,
tenacious,
intense,
aggressive,
humble,
loyal,
respectful,
resolute,
lunatic,
meatball head,
loud,
loving,
charismatic,
and caring,
talented,
leader,
legend.
I've got determined, crazy, determined, crazy, a villain.